What's going on, guys? Welcome back to your second stimulus check update, stimulus package update, and stimulus negotiation news report for Sunday, October 18th. We are just 16 days away from the upcoming election, and negotiations are starting to look much better. Even President Trump said he is ready to sign a big, beautiful stimulus. However, his pen will have to wait because we first need an agreement from our two negotiators, Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi. Well, as you may already know, if you don't, then you probably didn't watch my stimulus update from yesterday, so make sure you go and do that right now. There's a link, first link down in the description box below. You can go and watch that video. Well, in that video, I discuss how Steve Mnuchin, which again, if you don't already know, he is in the Middle East. He's currently in the Middle East and will be there for the next couple of days. Well, actually, till tomorrow. But this is not stopping him and Nancy Pelosi from working towards a stimulus agreement. They are working together. Last night, Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin got a little bit closer to a deal. Nancy Pelosi's Deputy Chief of Staff, Drew Hamill, said after the call that there is encouraging news on testing. His exact tweet was, "The Speaker and Secretary Mnuchin spoke at 7:40 p.m. by phone tonight for just over an hour. While there was some encouraging news on testing, there remains work to do to ensure there is a comprehensive testing plan that includes contact tracing and additional measures to address the virus's disproportionate impact on communities of color. There remains an array of additional differences as we go provision by provision that must be addressed in a comprehensive manner in the next 48 hours. Decisions must be made by the White House in order to demonstrate that the administration is serious about reaching a bipartisan agreement that provides for Americans with the greatest needs during the pandemic." Now, this was a lot, but what struck me as odd here is that he states an agreement must be met within the next 48 hours. Now, I have no clue if this is a self-imposed deadline between Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi or if it's something else entirely. But what I hope is we will get some clarification here very soon. Hopefully today from Nancy Pelosi, but if not, I anticipate whenever this 48-hour deadline actually expires, hopefully we'll get clarification as to why Drew Hamill said this, or is this the deadline that they imposed? Are they going to stop negotiations until after the upcoming election if they don't come to agreement within the next 48 hours? Well, hopefully we'll know that very soon. However, this is good news. We need the two sides to come closer together. And this is what, based on what Nancy Pelosi has been saying, this was one of those deal breakers. If Democrats and Republicans couldn't agree to the language and the way that the money was spent, then that was going to be an issue. And one of the biggest issues was that Republicans had no plan as to how they're going to go through with national testing. Well, Democrats had a plan. Mnuchin countered that plan with a few changes. And as of right now, Drew Hamill saying it's encouraging news. So this is good. We are moving into the right direction. Now, in other related news, Mitch McConnell gave us more insights as to what he and Senate Republicans will be doing and putting on the floor this coming week. No votes are expected to happen on Monday. That's what we know right now. That's based on the schedule for the Senate. This was what was previously stated, is Mitch McConnell said they would put a bill on the floor and vote on Monday as soon as the Senate reconvenes. Well, now it is going to be Tuesday and Wednesday. Yes, 2 days. And this is the reason why. On Tuesday, Mitch McConnell and the Senate are going to vote on an additional package, additional money for the PPP program. This would allow the PPP funds, which come out to roughly $134 billion, to be reused and opened up again to the businesses that went and got PPP funds in the first round, or even new businesses. Some experts are saying that as of the two bills, the two things that the Senate is going to put on the floor, this is the only one that has a chance of possibly passing through the Senate at least, because there's been multiple Democrats that have proposed just passing stimulus for businesses, for small businesses, which would be the PPP program. So as of right now, this is most likely the only bill that has a chance of passing through the Senate. However, most people are expecting it's just going to be held up in the House once again. So it's going to go nowhere, but it will look good for the Senate and specifically Republicans or the Democrats that do vote on this. So that I guess is the bright side to this proposal. Now on the other hand, on Wednesday, Mitch McConnell and the Senate will vote on the exact same bill that was blocked by Democrats in September. This is the roughly $500 billion stimulus proposal, or the skinny bill, that the Senate put to the floor in September that was blocked. And it wasn't even he wasn't even passed or accepted by all Republicans. It was only 51 out of the 53 Republicans said yes. Everyone else said no. So what is going to be in the bill on Wednesday? Well, it's going to be pretty much the exact same stuff that was in the bill, back in September, except for the PPP funding. That will be voted on separately. They're going to split the two. Now, I think that has the best chance of maybe seeing one of the two, which would be PPP funding, but that is what they're going to do, so we'll see what happens this week. But the bill on Wednesday, what will be in this? It's going to be $300 a week for unemployment through the end of December. Now, this $300 per week, Democrats will never go for this. We already know that. They're not even wanting to go for $400 per week. They want $600 per week. So $300 per week, Democrats are not going to go for this. Funding for testing and tracing. Well, we know that's what Steve Mnuchin and Nancy Pelosi are currently working on. I doubt Mitch McConnell is really being read into exactly what is going on with the stimulus negotiations. He probably has a little bit and knows a little bit about it, but keeping up to date on an hourly or daily manner, I doubt he does. He has his hands full with the Supreme Court hearing. So he's over there doing that. Fine. They're done with the hearing. They're going to pass or vote on the Supreme Court nominee very soon. I believe it's this week or next week. I'll have to get back to you on that one. I don't know off the top of my head exactly when it's going to be. But the other thing that's going to be in this bill on Wednesday is $100 billion for schools to make schools safe for kids to go back. Well, we already know that's about half of what Democrats even want. So $100 billion, I doubt Democrats are going to be jumping at the chance to accept this, and also funding for a vaccine. So most people anticipate this is going nowhere, so I'm not going to spend too much more time on this, but just know, in order for something to pass through the Senate, it needs 61 votes. Republicans, there's 53 Republicans in the Senate. So it would need at least 8 Democrats to say yes, as long as all 53 Republicans vote yes as well. And this is not likely to happen on Wednesday. It could potentially happen Tuesday with just the PPP funding. However, it's most likely not going to happen on Wednesday as well. So, we still have a couple days before we know what happens there. But once we have an answer, I will get you that update as soon as possible as well. Now, in a letter discussing the Senate's relief bill and schedule for this upcoming week, Mitch McConnell states that nobody thinks the $500 billion proposal would resolve every problem forever, but it would deliver huge amounts of additional help to workers and families right now, while Washington keeps arguing over the rest. No, that's a very accurate statement. However, what Nancy Pelosi is trying to do is provide a package that does provide a huge amount of relief now and solves many problems, not just now, but into the future as well. Well, the Trump administration and President Trump and Steve Mnuchin also want to get as close as they can to not only solving problems today, but addressing problems that are going to arise sometime in the near future. So Mitch McConnell's proposal in his bill is going to do none of that, just provide relief now. Well, all it's doing right now is giving giving a homeless person a couple dollars to feed them today instead of addressing the problem of homelessness. Well, let's address the problems as well as providing relief today. That's what the American people truly need. He also stated, if Speaker Pelosi ever lets the House reach a bipartisan agreement with the administration, the Senate would of course consider it, but Americans need help now. Well, this is very good to hear because it was just a few days ago that Mitch McConnell said that he would not bring a $1.8+ trillion stimulus proposal or package to the floor because his members believe that is not needed. What is needed is smaller targeted stimulus. Well, I'm glad he's changed his mind because we needed him to change his mind. We don't need President Trump trying to negotiate with Mitch McConnell to just bring a bill to the floor. So all of this is really good. We need the Senate focused on stimulus, not the Supreme Court seat. We need Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin focus on getting closer to a deal. We also need President Trump on board to sign any deal that is given to him from the House and the Senate. And we need to make sure the American people are taken care of today. There's no more waiting. We cannot wait any longer. Right now, multiple reports are coming out saying that Joe Biden doesn't have such a commanding lead like many people were previously reporting. This is not good. This is not good because this could potentially stop Nancy Pelosi from accepting a deal due to this election, due to this race being so tight. However, we are still a couple of weeks away from the election, and it is reported that only 30 million people, roughly, have voted so far. So that's still good. We still have many of millions of people to vote, and that's expected to happen over the next couple of weeks. So this is going to be a tight race. It's going to be an interesting race. It's going to be odd. Okay, I'm just going to put it that way. It's going to be odd to see what happens. Does President Trump relinquish power if he loses? Does Joe Biden, does he accept a loss if he does lose? These are things we don't know. So these will be interesting to find out over the next couple of weeks. Now, in COVID news, Johns Hopkins University is reporting that we saw 52,774 new cases yesterday, and that is with 679 deaths. Well, this means we are at a 1.2% death rate, which is getting much better than it was. Just to put that into perspective for you, the flu or influenza has a death rate of well below 0.1%. So we still have a ways to go to get COVID to the death rate, or the fairly close to the death rate of influenza. We need to go down about 1.1%, which is a fairly substantial change. Europe is also reporting a second wave of cases and expects numbers to surpass the April peaks. So what we know right now is that cases will continue to rise throughout the winter months or throughout the colder months. Because of this, the need for additional stimulus is greater now than it ever has been before. So hopefully Congress will work together and pass some type of stimulus bill. So just wanted to give you that little update for today. That is what we currently know. That's what's currently going on. If there's an update later on, I expect Nancy Pelosi to offer some type of update or give a response to what's happening. I expect that to happen sometime today, so hopefully we'll see that. If we do, I will bring you an update later on today as to what's new and what Nancy Pelosi says. So just want to thank you guys for watching. Make sure you do me a favor, smash that thumbs up button if you enjoy these daily stimulus updates. Make sure you subscribe so I can keep you updated, and I'll see you guys on the next one.